Jai Shri Ram. If you are a student of Bhagavad Gita, you will enjoy this discussion. Now, in the first chapter, 10th shlokam and the 11th shlokam have led to a tremendous controversy. The first chapter, 10th shlokam in the Bhagavad Gita is Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma virakshitam Paryaptam tvidametesham balam bhima virakshitam. Duryodhana is saying Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma virakshitam Paryaptam tvidametesham balam bhima virakshitam. Now, some scholars interpret Aparyaptam as insufficient, inadequate. That is, Duryodhana is actually saying that our army commanded by Bhishma is actually weak, and their army commanded by Bhima is strong. So we will lose the battle or something like that. And some say, they interpret Aparyaptam as our army is unlimited and their army is actually limited. Because the whole problem starts with the word Aparyaptam and Paryaptam. Now, there are all kinds of reasonings people give. Now, the 11th shloka, if you take a look at that one, then Duryodhana continues, he says, Ayanyeshu cha sarveshu yada bhagam avastitaha bhishma me vabhirakshantu bhavantas sarvayevahi. Therefore, stand firmly in your positions and give cover to Bhishma. That means protect Bhishma. Now, instantly, the first thought that came to my mind is, why would a lion need dogs as security guards? If there is a lion, will a lion hire some dogs or rats or rabbits as security guards? No. So, the very fact that Duryodhana is saying that Bhishma needs security raises a question. That means Duryodhana is worried. Some people defend this as saying, Bhishma said that he will never fight with a eunuch or actually a female. So Shikhandi was born a female but transformed into a male later. That is a different story. Shikhandi is not a eunuch. He is not a hijda. He becomes a male. So nevertheless Bhishma vowed never to fight with a female. Therefore, some people defend this shloka of Duryodhana by saying that Duryodhana was implying that if Shikhandi happens to come in front of Bhishma, then Bhishma will not fight and we might lose the war. Therefore, please protect Bhishma from that fellow Shikhandi. That is how some people defend it. Remember, Bhishma defeated even Parashurama. So the invincible Bhishma is vulnerable to Shikhandi because of his own fixation. Nevertheless, so these two shlokas are very interesting. Now let us look at this word Aparyaptam, Paryaptam. See, Aparyapt hi reh gaya. Suppose I say in Telugu, Aparyaptam ga migilinadi. That means ye aparyapt hi reh gaya. कहने का मतलब है ये पूरा नहीं हुआ. हाँ. और another example, अपर्याप्तమైన संपदा. अपर्याप्त है इनका संपद. मतलब कि boundless. So the word aparyaptam can be interpreted this way or that. Aparyaptamaina jnanamu, aparyaptamaina sampada, aparyaptamaina sampada. That means boundless. Aparyaptamaga migilinadi. That means not complete. So this word aparyaptam is like a chameleon. Whereas paryaptam has no problem. Paryapt ho gaya, complete ho gaya. So now I will just acquaint you with these people, you see. Some people say, Duryodhana is saying, we are weak, Bhima is very strong. Who are the people? Now, Adi Shankaracharya, it is said that he actually did not write any commentary on the first paragraph, on the first chapter. But there are two interpretations available by Dr. A.G. Krishnavariyar. He said that Duryodhana is saying that we are weak and Bhima's team is stronger. And Gambhirananda, Ramakrishna Math publication, both of them. Gambhirananda says the exact opposite. That we are very strong, invincible, and they are very weak because they are protected only by Bhima. Whereas Ramanujacharya, Sridhara Swami, Keshava Kashmiri, Prabhaduneja, Sri Ram Sukdas. Sri Ram Sukdas of Gita Press and Jaydayal Goyandka, they are occupying opposite camps. Sri Ram Sukdas gives a very interesting reasoning. He says that Duryodhana feels that we are weak and they are strong. Shivananda, Annie Besant also, they are all in this team. They are saying our Duryodhana is saying that our army is weak. Pandava army led by Bhima is very strong. Now, look at what Sri Ram Sukdas ji is saying. Ram Sukdas ji reasons when Bhishma is the commander on this side and Drushtadhyumna is the commander on that side, Duryodhana should be actually comparing the commanders. But why is he raising or mentioning Bhima? That itself indicates that it is not Drushtadhyumna who is bothering Duryodhana. Duryodhana is scared of Bhima because he made several attempts to kill Bhima, but Bhima survived all of them. If you know Mahabharata, Bhima was poisoned. They gave him poisoned food. They tried to burn him down. They tried all kinds of things, but Bhima survived everything. And Bhima defeated Duryodhana several times also. Even in childhood, he used to give these fellows a thrashing. And Bhima swore that he will kill all the 100 when Draupadi Vastrapaharanam took place. So, Ram Sukdas ji explains that Duryodhana was terribly scared. To use the colloquial expression, he was shit scared of Bhima. So that is why he is mentioning Bhima. Some other person, some other interpreter said that, Ram Sukdas ji, of course, some other interpreter said, in the first day, in the formation, Bhima was in the vantage point. Therefore, Duryodhana saw Bhima first and did not bother to mention Drishtadyumna. So, that is one reason given in defense as to why Duryodhana mentioned Bhima and not Drishtadyumna. Now, Ram Sukdas ji also goes on to say something very awesome. He said, Bhishma, you see, is a great devotee of Krishna. Bhishma defeated Parashurama also. Or in fact, Parashurama claimed that he cannot do anything, accepting sort of defeat. That is the different story. When Amba went to Parashurama, because Amba, Ambika, Ambalika were abducted by Bhishma from the Swayamvara, and he brought them for marriage to Vichitravirya and Chitrangada. Now Amba said, see, I am in love with some other fellow, Salva. And so Bhishma let her go. Salva said, now you have been abducted by that fellow, so I don't want you. So Amba came back and asked Bhishma, why don't you marry me? He said, no, I cannot marry because I took a vow. So Amba was terribly frustrated. She lost her lover and she wanted Bhishma to be her husband. That also rejected. So she swore that I will kill you. And she did tapas and died, and she was born as a female, Shikandi. Shikandi transformed magically into a male. That's a different story. So Shikandi is a male for all practical purposes. In all these TV serials, Shikandi is shown as some kind of a hijda or khojja and trying to poke fun at Shikandi. On the contrary, if you read the original Mahabharata, Shikandi is such a powerful Maharatha that Vyasa said, onlookers thought that this is Rama, Sri Rama. They compared Shikandi to Sri Rama. So Shikandi was not an ordinary warrior, hello, and nor was he a hijda. Nevertheless, Bhishma was fixated because Shikandi originally was a female. Bhishma was fixated that he will never fight a female. Now, Bhishma, Ram Sukdas ji says, Bhishma was a devotee of Krishna and he knew he was fighting on the side of Adharma. And he also knew that Adharma cannot win, especially when Krishna is on the other side. Therefore, in order to prove a point to the whole world that even when Bhishma, that is he himself, is fighting on the side of Adharma, they will still lose because Krishna is on the other side. So Bhishma was willing to sacrifice himself to prove an important point that Dharma will always win and Adharma will lose, even if a person like Bhishma, who is so invincible, fights. So yato dharma tato Krishna, yato Krishna tato jaya. Now you look at the other side. These are the people who opine thus, that is, we are stronger, they are weak. Madhvacharya did not comment, but his disciple Vidyabhushana said that ours is stronger. Duryodhana is saying that we are stronger, they are weak. Prabhupada also says, Aurobindo, Jayadayal, Goenka. But there is nothing wrong in their interpretations, because they say, all of them broadly say, Duryodhana was arrogant, he was indulging in self-aggrandizement. That is the word used by Swami Mukundananda. I did not mention him here, I forgot. So Mukundananda also, currently his Gita is very good. So he said, Duryodhana is habituated to boasting. So he was boasting, and actually deep down he had fear. So Finally, what are the takeaways? Well, the takeaways are, when great scholars are differing in their opinions, what must we mortals do? Uh, I think both the groups, both the reasonings are fine, because ultimately they are converging at the same point, that dharma will eventually win. Duryodhana, those who say this or those who say that, their reasoning is leading to the same point. So our synthesis should be, both views are okay when all the elements are taken into consideration. So I think this is one of the most interesting controversies, and take a good look at the whole picture, and 110 and 111, right? So this should teach us that even one shloka can lead to so much debate. So what of the remaining 700? Actually, there are 745 shlokas in the Mahabharatam, but Adi Shankaracharya fixed it as 700. In some books you will find 701, because the 13th chapter, first shloka, is omitted in some books. If it is included, it becomes 701. So Adi Shankara actually never commented on the first chapter. But this debate is very interesting. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Jai Shri Ram.